Assalamu alaikum, people. What's good? As much as I would love to welcome you to a very interesting episode, if you will, it's not really what you might think. Today, unfortunately, I'm going to be discussing about a very dark topic, or rather a set of topics which can be classified as dark, and it's best I classify as that, because you're going to find out soon, inshallah. Things are just not good. It's very ugly, and it's rearing its stupid hairs out of nowhere. And it's just not something that we should be welcoming in society at the way it is going on right now. You might be thinking, what might be the specific crux of the topic? Well, you're going to have to find out, so stick around. And welcome to the Unsheathed Podcast. I'm your host, Azariel. Your one and only host for today, to be honest, because as the title says, it's a solo episode. So welcome. Grab your popcorn, buckle your seatbelts, do whatever is necessary, because we're going to be on a ride. And I hope you're not going to enjoy it at all. I hope so, at least. To start things off, I'm going to start with a disclaimer. Just as I was saying that it's a dark episode, well, the reason I would add that you should buckle up is because we're going to be talking about depression, suicide, anxiety, addiction of any sorts, simp behavior, and a lot more. Unfortunately, that's the state of current Muslim men, which I do say with a heavy heart. As much as I would want to add a joke in here and make it a bit lighter, I'm just going to have to say, you're probably in for something even more darker than I could have ever imagined to even present on my own, especially without Archon. I'm already kind of getting the sweaty palms because this is something I would love to add Archon in, but unfortunately I'm going to have to do a solo episode as the promise. So yeah, here we go. We're starting right now. Let's moving on to the first segment. In this modern era in general, I was gonna specify something, but, in general, in this modern era, we haven't been seeing anything that's more or less supporting men. I know it's kind of cliche to just put it out there that, yeah, men are having troubles, so what? But rather, it's not about a surface level, it's not a surface level understanding. It's nothing superficial. I assure you that. This is something deeper, and I'm trying to find the root of it, and inshallah, I'll try my best to even pull up a solution if I can. Note, if I can. It's not something as easy, or it's very relevant, but it's not something as easy to give you an answer just randomly. So, as much as I would like to say, still, buckle up again. We're on for a ride, for real. And also, welcome to all the audience members here who are listening. I hope you're going to stay, or I hope you're not. It's all fine. It's going to get deep. It's going to get heavy. It's all chill. That's all I got to add. So, the point where I left off is that we have a lot of issues with men in general, but then we have the Muslim men area, right? We have the Muslim audience. Like, what's up with there? I think everything is super fine. I mean, they must be following the Quran and Sunnah 1-to-1. Like, it's all fine, right? I mean, the Muslims don't go through depression, right? I mean, Muslims don't go through nihilism, etc. Like, they don't go through anything. I assume so, right? As much as I would love to say that it's all simple and it's all rainbows and fun. By the way, by rainbow, I do not mean by the LG UHD Ultimate TV or whatever. I mean by a happy moment. This is the 90s moment, alright? It's not the recent whatever development we've got in this weird world that we're living in currently. However, moving on. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, as much as I would love to say it. I've been recently getting some DMs from a few brothers, and even without being recent, I've been getting some DMs in general from brothers who have been telling me that, okay, first let me just make a distinction here. I get a large percentage of DMs saying, bro, what can I do? I'm addicted to porn. Please help me out. And to respond to that is our two of our episodes in the porn addiction series. But I know that it doesn't really solve the issue, and it doesn't really answer it. And of course, this isn't the crux of the topic, not in the least. However, it's much more. It's much more deeper than you could think. People think that, well, it's just the addiction, right? They think it's just something, right? I mean, nobody's going through anything. I mean, it's all superficial, and you could just go to therapy and you'll be cured off of it, right? You'll be completely cured. There's nothing happening in general. Well, boy, oh boy, do I have some bad news, and do I have some bad as heck news that's gonna boil your blood. And yeah, I'm just gonna move on. I'm not gonna stall any further, bro. Clearly, a lot of Muslim men, and also saying that a large percentage was in my DMs are just, bro, please help me, I got the porn addiction stuff going on. Well, the other percentage of men, which are kind of less in general, but it's also linked to the addiction in and of itself, which is bros suffering from an insane dilemma of loneliness. The reason I add dilemma to it is because the answer isn't really simple. It depends from person to person and situation to situation. It's a very complicated matter, and it depends on the person. Like I've already said, like it really depends on the person of what he's going through and how he's going through and how he's gonna cope with this. However, there's a key distinction that can be made. There's a key element that I've been kind of noticing that's going around in this whole loneliness sphere. Or rather, people would say it's a doomer pill thingy majingy, or black pill, if you will. But it's not really about any of those pills. It's not about red pill either, although I will get to it later. It is a part. It plays a part in this huge void, if you will, for manhood. And unfortunately, a lot of men and women are actually confused about their roles in society. Now, I assume everybody's just jumping out of the train of, well, here he goes again, going against feminism. To be honest, there's more to it. Like I've been saying, it's a deep-rooted problem. It's not anything that you could have imagined. You can't. The worst case scenario is my research. I have a researcher, and he ended up compiling some notes for me. And to be honest, after seeing that, it was kind of sad. It was actually sad. Very sad, in fact. Seeing how we've progressed with technology. We've progressed so much as humanity. But we've barely progressed in terms of our understanding of just the human connection. Forget about the soul and forget about all the mumbo jumbo of spirituality that goes on. By spirituality, I mean those taking the mushrooms and yada yada, those kind of like chakra and yada yada. Like, forget about all of that. We don't even know the basic connection between humanity, like the basics, the fundamentals, if you will, the ones that just make us human, that just make a society. And the recent DM that I actually got, I mean, it wasn't really a full-on DM. It was more of it came to me in the form of a YouTube video, and I'm not going to share it for obvious reasons. And the bro was visibly he was completely broken, true. However, in that 10-minute or so long video, he ended up explaining how just coping with reality is just difficult. Of course, I summarized it a bit, but by coping, I mean he was in a relationship, and he recently got into self-improvement, he was in a relationship, etc. Like everything that you would assume someone, like, after they get into self-improvement, right? You would assume that something of that sort. So it was a very difficult moment for him to just cope with the change. And that's why I said the loneliness aspect is on a new scale, because people think that maybe a relationship will solve my problem. Maybe money will solve my problem. Maybe it's just social basically people admiring me, the pride aspect, or maybe it's also the fact that I'm someone very special. Of course, it relates back to the pride aspect, but it's also about like I have a higher standing on the social hierarchy. As much, man, it's kind of difficult. As much as I would love to say that it's just those superficial aspects, and it's like, yeah, I mean, of course, those are used as cope, but there's more things going on that's used as cope, and they actually get demolished, obliterated under the superficial guidelines because people just can't look into themselves anymore. For example, I've been trying to solve a case. One of my cases actually, he's also the same thing. He's going through porn addiction, etc., and he's been going on for a long while. And he's a young kid. I'll repeat that. He's a young kid. His age is almost like he's 13. Bro is literally 13 and going through porn addiction. All right, I literally trash on porn addiction all the time. But other than that, there's a reason why he's going to it. Now, you expect me to say it's loneliness, but I'd say I digress. It's not really loneliness. For him, it's a different case compared to the other guy that I was talking about, who recently got into Islam and has to quit these relationships, etc. You know, all those stuff. Their cases are completely different, but there's a connection over here. And funny enough, is the same connection I like to trash on, which is marriage. I like to trash on this topic a lot because the way people talk about it, they talk about it in a superficial sense. Because none of the Muslim brothers that I've actually heard them ever say that, okay, I actually have heard a few of them, and fortunately they're in my server, but I've never heard the others actually speak out on this that, bro, it's marriage is never going to solve your issue only. And also, I mean, of course, it sounds like I'm literally trashing on marriage only. Not that. Even money isn't going to solve your issues. You may have whatever insecurities you have, etc. Nothing is going to solve your issue of loneliness. Like, you can't hide it under anything. Now, to add on to why I call it a dark topic is because this said loneliness, once, like, if you don't get to understand, if you just do not understand what is the root cause of your loneliness, right? You can go to many extremes, like nihilism or even the want to commit suicide, or having some extreme mental health issues, depression going on another scale, like a profound scale that just you can't fathom sometimes what kind of stuff just keeps on going on. For example, I'll use myself as a case study over here. I practically lived through a lot many months in depression. I spent an entire year in depression, not because of maybe I failed in a subject in school, not because of, oh, I didn't like my relationship with a girl, maybe it just got diminished. Not even that. And to be honest, I'd say many people, at least 99% of people out there, you can relate to them when they say that they're depressed, and it's a reason that you can relate to. Unfortunately, mine wasn't. So I had to continuously figure out my solution after a year and a half to finally realize what it was. And that may be a topic for another day, I assume, or maybe it'll be in this topic. However, moving on from that point, the reason I say is that it's still different for each people. It's not the same thing for everybody. Man, a lot of people literally think that their solution to this loneliness or the nihilism that they're going through must be because they're not happy. They need happiness in life. Well, I, for one, just don't believe in happiness. First off, Ding ding, that's a red alert. I don't believe in it. Yeah, I truly don't believe in happiness, to be honest. What I do believe in is contentment. Happiness is a state. You don't you don't have a control over that. You have a control over contentment. Do what you have in your control. And that's why I said I don't believe in happiness, because it's something I just cannot be controlling. It's not in my power. No matter what I do, even if I excite my dopamine receptors nonstop, it's still not going to solve the issue. And it's still not going to make me happy in any way, shape, or form. So when you think of happiness, it's always described with superficial terms that maybe if I do this, I'll be happy. Or if I do that, I'll be happy. And this is exactly the symptoms of coping. You get to the same point that I brought out earlier, which is they think that relationships, money, or a bunch of different things, gaming or whatever you can say, it will solve their issues. It'll finally give them the respite they've been looking for. Well, it doesn't. What do you do with that loneliness? You got the nihilism knocking at your door every day. Say, yo, what's good? We hanging out? And somehow you just let him in because, man, I don't know. I mean, I'm just alive. This is just another day. Another day to live just because I'm alive. And as depressing as that statement sounds, and as empty, without a mission, it's with a lack of meaning, that's the state many men actually go through. And not only go through, some live in it. And now there's a small percentage of men that actually get out of that stage compared to the other larger percentage of men within that nihilistic sphere who end up staying in it and suffering for a larger period of time. And speaking of which, the answer to loneliness, according to Boy Crisis, is quite literally, it literally has it there saying that it's to find your purpose. That a lot of men are just straight up living in the purpose void, and they just don't have the purpose. Of course, it also mentions the other factors like dad deprivation, the rise of ADHD, and the devaluation of masculinity, which I'll get to later. But speaking specifically about the purpose void, the reason I want to highlight this is because this is the crux of the overall issue of loneliness. Because when you feel lonely, it's not because that you don't understand what's going on. It's not just the nihilism alone. It's also the factors that's going on around you, the surroundings, if you will, that's constantly trying to break you down, that's constantly just pushing you beyond the limit that you would feel. That it goes beyond your limit. You think that it's going beyond your limit, and sometimes it does go beyond your limit. And specifically, of course, I'm going to use the subcontinental areas for my case studies here, because at least I found a lot many more cases from that end. And many of our server members, I mean not all, but quite some percentage of our members are from the subcontinent. So I'd say that using that data, a lot of them, actually, if not 90% or 80% of them, I'd actually wager on 80%, all right? To stay safe, if you will. So 80% of them are always depressed and anxious, and there's no form of actual mission in their lives. Their only mission, unfortunately, I mean, I'm not blaming or making fun of anybody. I'm just stating facts that's going on. That their only form of mission is to do what the system says to do, to follow the system. I'm not saying go against the system. Of course, the plethora of sensitive folks who are out there, they'll all be jumping up and down thinking that, oh God, here he goes again. We've got an Andrew Tate 2.0 going on in this place. No, not really. Stop being so freaking sensitive. Your goddamn sensitivity hasn't really solved any issues, has it? Instead, it's been increasing the issues, and funny enough, I'm getting a heck ton of DMs. You want to talk about that? Why the frick am I getting the DMs? Well, there you go. It's because their sensitivity hasn't really solved any issues. No one's really solving issues. Everything is just in its superficial goddamn state. As much as I would love to say that, oh yeah, go to therapy. Bro, go to therapy. What the heck, bro? Go to therapy doesn't even work anymore. They'll literally put you on drugs, and that's literally what happens. Okay, take this pill and you're good to go. That's not how depression works. Depression is also a state. However, it's a state that's there because of a heck ton of other things that influenced that state into existence for you. For example, what I mean by that is, let's say you care about something, right? Let's say you care about a person. You love that person. And unfortunately, they passed. So you're sad. That's understandable. However, your sadness gets 10x'd for no reason. The way societal structures are, by societal structures I mean media specifically, the way the medias are, they're always out there pumping up media that always have this one thing in common. In the romance genre, if you will, is that if someone passes away, oh god, there's such depression. Oh my god, there's such pressure that, that's the only person in this entire world. What the heck's that? Like, what do you mean by that's the only person? And then you have Red Pill saying that's one-itis, crackhead. Get out of your crack den and go get the other girls that's out there. Red Pill actually says something good in this area. Of course, I can't be defending them completely because they do have their limitations as well, especially with the recent Rollo Tomasi tweet that went on saying the high-value man needs to get a vasectomy. That's a lot of bull. Anyhow, the overall issue from loneliness, I know I've been kind of straying off the topic and bringing in random plot points, and it has a lot of plot holes as well. Well, you're gonna have to wait around. I'm sorry. The only reason I'm saying that all these examples, if you will, all these other small little tidbits, it's not the bigger picture, by the way. These are not the bigger picture. These are all small tidbits, and these are all still superficial. The reason I still say that these are superficial, even though they are considered to be quite the structures, they're quite the mainframe structures that you would say that, oh yeah, okay, that could be the root cause of their loneliness. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to say, I'm gonna have to drop a bomb in this place right now. Of course, hey, sensitive people, chill down. I don't mean any other stuff, like chill. What I specifically mean by dropping a bomb is that society as a whole, the way it's working, the way people are conditioned, all right, from media outlets, from the work culture, the overall culture of how a person is born, then they need to go to school. I'm sorry, scratch that. They need to go to the daycare, and then they get to go to the school, and then as the high school, then we got college, then we got work, probably a marriage, maybe a failed marriage even. Then we got 2.5 kids, nuclear family. Well, I just said already, failed marriage, divorced, yada yada. Well, a lot of people actually live that life, and a lot of people fear. The fear kicks in immediately for a lot of young people. And that's why you're seeing entrepreneurship being a mainstream thing now. And of course, alhamdulillah, that's actually the best thing possible. I personally would say that entrepreneurship is the way to go. Stop relying on the system, but you do need to rely on it to an extent, which is a topic for another day, of course. But how many people do you think, when you look around you, are aware of all of this? When you look around you, how many people are there that you can relate to all these information that, man, I mean, self-improvement is kind of good. I mean, it's the next best thing. It does look like it's a good business model, but really, it's actually pretty good. I mean, apart from the businesses, of course. Let's just not take them as full-on 100% examples, but it's good. Self-improvement does help. I mean, working out has finally made my mental health feel so good. And then there's also studying, reading books. Ooh, talk about some improvements. Also, I get to do social interactions. Oh, God, that's something else. And really, these are low-key the answers to loneliness. However, there's also more to it. The root cause, I mean, I've been circulating for a while now. The root cause for loneliness, as I've said earlier, is your surroundings, is the things that's happening around you. What are you focusing on? What are you looking at? What are you consuming? What is in your feed? What's on your social media? It's not just about stop social media for X amount of hours, go on a dopamine detox, etc. Of course, you need to do that. However, there's more to it. There's the deeper issue of, well, what are you looking at? What are we seeing? What am I ingesting in this place? Is it even helpful to begin with? When you look at the news outlets, and it's my personal pet peeve that news outlets out there they're always out there to just put you in a cycle of hatred. They're basically Twitter. So quite literally, it's just the same old of going in circle of hate, just seeing all these negativity and absorbing them and thinking that's reality and taking that as your next step, taking that as something that's just the answer to a lot of the problems in the world. Like, oh damn, this situation happened and that happened, yada yada. The real life is not Twitter. The real life is not your social media feed. It's something else. Go out in real life. That's a very prominent advice for people in loneliness, etc. They go out to the wilderness or go out anywhere, like go out there and just socialize with people, right? However, then you end up with the dilemma of a brotherhood. You don't have the brotherhood in your surroundings. Like I said, your surroundings and what you consume are also the root fact of your loneliness. So when you go out there, you assume that, okay, fine, so I need to change my surroundings and I need to change my company, so I'll do that. So maybe you move to a new place, or maybe you're even still there in the same place, it's fine. And you're out there looking for a brotherhood, and then you figure out there's nothing happening. No one is as aware as you are, and now you feel that, oh man, is my ego going up? To an extent, it might be, but really, you're just looking for a brotherhood. You're just looking for companionship. You're just looking for someone to share your pain with. And this is also another thing. I'm going to pull up some stats so that you'd realize what's actually happening right now. Also, I would say that there are unlimited weird scenarios that are out there that make it look like, oh man, that's gay. Bro, what do you mean that's gay? You mean the handshake? When two bros meet after a long while, or heck, even after in the next day, the handshake, just the handshake, that has so many memories and so much trauma and so many things have been shared, and you can feel it in that handshake. When you go to your bro, and then just say, yo, what's good? And you just do the handshake, the bro fist, or whatever you're doing, mostly the handshake, you get the vibe of, yeah, I feel it. I finally feel it. This is what I've been looking for. Where were you all my life? There it is. You just search for companionship, but you can't find it, unfortunately, because everybody is still, of course, a lot of people in the self-improvement sphere say that they're still playing video games, they're stuck in porn, etc. They're stuck in this dilemma of all these bad habits of eating fast food, junk food. They're not really doing their thing. They're not reading books. They're not trying to improve. They're not even aware of their issues that's circulating them through and through. And unfortunately, well, I'll go to that segue later, to be honest, because it connects to a very, very important topic. That's also the second crux to why many people just don't improve, and why are people still stuck in loneliness. They'll keep on staying in loneliness, by the way. Sad news. If people just don't understand these few things, these minute details that you have in your control, the power is on your hands. It's quite literally in your hands. So if you don't do the work, how do you expect results? How do you expect improvement? How do you expect anything to happen? tie your camel and have faith in Allah. How do you have that? You're not even tying your damn camel. You're just sitting there and doing nothing. Heck, you're not even... You do dua? Bruh, you're not even doing that. You're quite literally just sitting there like an absolute panda, doing nothing, eating bamboo. How's that helping out? How's that really helping you out? Is that helping you out? That's a bigger question. The biggest question is any of the things that you're doing really helping you out? 99.9%, I'm sure. No, not really. It's leaving you empty. It's leaving you dead. And I'm going to pull up some statistics as I promised a bit earlier. Psychology professor and author Niobe Way, I hope I pronounced her name right, shows through her extensive research that boys in early adolescence express a deeply fulfilling emotional connection for each other. Early adolescence. However, by the time they're adults, that sense of connection has disappeared. Way suggests that this natural, quote-unquote, distancing is in fact artificial, a result of toxic judgments leveled against boys and young teenage men by their society and environment. Speaking to Mark Green for Upworthy, Way explained, boys know by late adolescence that their close male friendships and even their emotional equity, well, how do you pronounce that? Equity put them at risk of being labeled girly or immature or gay. This is what I meant when I said about the handshake. Like when your homie comes out and you just do that handshake, bro, I can't really explain. This is something I just can't explain to you in words. This is something you're gonna have to experience with your homie. It's like the handshake, the vibe. Like, yeah, I got you, bro. I got you. Through thick and thin, man, I got your back. That's such... that is such an emotional aid to any man. Like, if a homie comes up and says, bro, I got you. And that in and of itself, like, unlike women, we don't really have to speak a lot. We don't have to share a heck ton. But we do share when, of course, necessary. But like those small, subtle things, they're quite literally enough to be like, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. You get those vibes, those absolute richness in those moments. I just can't explain it in words, man. Because, for example, the thing she said about like immature or gay, I'll read a bit further. Thus, rather than focusing on who they are, they become obsessed with who they are not. They're not girls, little boys, nor, in the case of heterosexual boys, are they gay. The study shows that most teens have an extreme misunderstanding of how masculinity works. They think bonding to others, having close friends, sharing and speaking up their mind makes them more feminine, while in reality it's the opposite. Having more close friends that you can trust, more networking capabilities, makes you more masculine than others. Think about it. Rewind the damn video and think about it. A lot of men that I know are out there and they'll barely talk. By talk, I mean they'll barely have that bro talk, or like they'll barely chill around. If they chill around, they're gonna try and find a common subject to talk about and just chill about. And like they'll talk about it and yeah, we're done. See ya. But really, if you want to have deep connections with your homies, like to call somebody a homie, bro, this goes way beyond. This is like when you guys are just together, you and your homie, you're probably sad, you're probably broken, etc. But you got somebody to share that thing with, and you know, even if you don't know, but you do know that if you share with him, it stays with them. It's like, homie, I'm gonna take it to the grave, it's fine. You're welcome to share. And alhamdulillah, that's pretty much another reason why people come into my DMs, because I will take it to the grave. And like I said, I never even mention their names, nor am I gonna mention anything of their personal private details. But really using some of their stories as case studies, it's actually completely sad seeing how many people are just living in the said individualistic lifestyle because they have to. It's not that they want to. Nobody wants to live in an individualistic lifestyle. Who does? Humans are social creatures. We love connectivity. We love that homey relationship. We love that family unit. We love the communal unit. It's a lot broader than just, yeah, I'm for me. I mean, I'm going to do all things for me. I'm going to earn money, everything just for me. And this is where I'd say the red pill area actually is not explaining this extra bit, which is the family unit and the community unit. Of course, it's based on how much I've researched about red pill. To be honest, the mainstream stuff on red pill is usually just a bunch of women being interviewed and say, hey, men and women ain't the same. Duh, obviously. Ain't denying that. Then stuff like, women got the hypergamy stuff. True, very true. Not wrong. But, and the women and men, men can have multiple women. Not denying that either, because 4 wives, duh, halal, it's all fine. But really, is life all about centering women as your crux? Like, are women really all there is to life for a man? And then you go about saying that manhood is so much more, we're kings, etc. Yeah, but where the content about that? We have a lot more content on relationships and girls and women compared to money or anything. Of course, where content on money, there's the business content, etc. But like the entrepreneurship stuff, like I said, has been booming recently. However, it's also the fact of what's the point of talking so much about women, etc. like that, when the information, by the way, is actually constant. After a set while, you will get bored. I assure you, you'll get bored that the red pill area is just not my thing, not my cup of tea. It just doesn't work for me. That there's more to it, and I know there's more to it. I know there's more to life. It's not just about having sex, etc. I mean, bruh, there's more to life. I'm assuming there's more to life, right? Well, yeah, there is. And that's basically why I said I could never relate. I could never relate loneliness that I was going through is because I barely care about relationships. By relationships, I mean the male-female dynamic, etc. I mean, okay, alhamdulillah, I got the knowledge, etc. That's all fine and dandy, but I'm not interested in that. I'm more of a numbers person. I'm more of a guy who's busy in work or something like that. I'm not into like relationships and stuff. Not saying I won't have any, but saying that it's not my main thing. That there's more to life that I look forward to, and I want to find out what it is. And the sole reason I said is that I couldn't relate to anybody is because, nobody could relate to me is because they're all busy with the same problems. They're all of their loneliness are pretty much, you can still dial it down to, okay, he got it for relationships, he got it for money, he got depressed because his parents kicked him out, he got depressed because he's failing and stuff, and his self-esteem is going down. It's all understandable, it's all natural, of course. However, the key is how many people actually go through that nihilistic experience because of they don't know what the next step is. They just don't know what's out there in life, and they've reached their potential. They've reached whatever they thought was their potential, and that was the next step. I'm empty. And that was just my issues, to be honest. But going on to the other brothers who ended up DMing me, is that a lot of them had those similar issues. Like the example I provided was that one of them was in a relationship and then he had to quit because, of course, haram. So then he was coping, and by coping, he was starting to adapt to Islam, the Islamic ways, etc. And alhamdulillah, he's doing great as far as I know. But really, the thing that he had continued, and the thing that many others continue, is that, man, I miss my girl, bro. I miss the relationship, etc. It's normal, of course, it's normal human connection. I'd say I'm the weird one here who can kind of forget about connection to an extent. But really, moving on from that, it's all normal. The human connection is what pushes the brothers to be more active and to seek the solution to their problems. For example, the typical relationship, money, etc. However, then you end up in this loophole of another form of self-improvement. You enter into self-improvement, read all the books, you got all of the stuff. It's all there, like I linked in the previous episode. It's in the description box, a video from James Johnny. Check it out, by the way. It's really cool. So you got all those stuff, you got it all going, all cool, yada yada. Now, what's next? You're left with an empty void. You don't know what's next. You don't know what to do. You're completely broken again because you've been reading the books. You got it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go do the workout, etc. Yeah, okay, cool. And then you learn about relationships. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go get the girl, etc. Yeah. Boom, you got the girl, but then you have to leave her. Okay, cool. Okay, we're adapting. Okay, cool. The thing with a lot of people, a lot of men, is that they fail to adapt to situations. The reason I say they fail to adapt to situations isn't really in the sense of me mocking them or anything. Again, please don't be sensitive. You have to keep your ego at the doorstep for this episode. You can't bring in the ego and start complaining that, oh man, we got a very extremist going on in this place. Bro, I assure you, I'm not an extremist. I'm just stating facts. And the darkness of this overall topic is that men stay in that circle thinking that something will solve their issues. The thing I just mentioned at the very beginning, that they think that the relationships and stuff will solve their issues. I think that's gonna be that's it. That's it, bro. That's the one. It's gonna solve my issues. And it doesn't. And then they keep on circulating in that place. And that's just the most horrible way to go. By go, I mean, like, that's the most horrible way to just live life continuously, not having true friends, not having a brotherhood, not having any companionship, not having people that you can look up to even, because you're so busy stuck inside yourself. Because what else is there for you to do? It's understandable that you're so stuck in yourself because, I mean, thus far it's always been me. All the porn addicts are basically screaming the same thing. Me, because they're busy pleasuring themselves. How the heck would they have time to pleasure a woman when they're busy pleasuring themselves? Now, I'll pull up some studies for this one, for a new point, if you will. The loneliness among men is much more severe than in women. Chill. In the UK, almost 1 in 5 men, 18%, owned up to not having a single close friend. Furthermore, 1 in 3, 32%, stated that they didn't have a best friend. For women, these figures were lower at 12 and 24% respectively, suggesting that on average, men in the UK are leading more solitary lives compared to women. This trend is similar for many other countries as well. However, there are 3 main reasons why loneliness is more prone in men than others. Lack of tribal engagement options. Like I said, the community. Misinformation and misunderstanding of the idea of masculinity. Example, social stigmas. And point 3, lack of true masculinity. I'd like to explain point 2 a bit. Misinformation and misunderstanding of the idea of masculinity. It quite literally sums up by the way how the modern culture as a whole, the whole cultural unit, has ended up making a joke of masculinity, as if masculinity is not necessary anymore. I mean, we're all fine. We're all doing it all nice. Remember something. Without masculinity and femininity, society in and of itself will always crumble and obliterate into oblivion. There's no questioning that. You can never question that. As much as you might want to think that, yeah, we're still fine, it's all going good. I mean, there's no issues, right? And we're still all just chilling and billing. I mean, having sex with the next door neighbors and whatever, having sex around the block. Yeah, it's all fun. I mean, everyone's fine. Look at the men; they're happy, right? Promiscuity doesn't promise you happiness. I'll say that again. Promiscuity doesn't promise you happiness. No pun intended. When you assume that you'll be happy because of an external thing, you're just digging your own grave. There's no questioning that you're busy digging your own grave. When you think something external, like, oh, I've already repeated this 4 times thus far, that people are coping, etc. Now, the misunderstanding here is that, well, of course, you have a lot of misinformation. Men are idiots. Remember, bumbling idiots, and so in the shows, etc., and TV. I mean, goddamn, you can't even just look at something. You can watch it with enjoyment. Nah, you're gonna have to see it and feel that something is off. There's some subliminal messaging going on in this place. And the misunderstanding is, well, now you have Red Pill. Red Pill itself isn't really a full issue. To an extent, it actually says the correct things to an extent, however. And the things it says about man and really the mainstream Red Pill content, when you watch them, when you digest them, you'll immediately realize it's filled with a lot of men who are wannabe Red Pillers. The reason I say they're wannabes is because they're out there screaming at the top of their lungs, yeah, alpha! When really, isn't the alpha supposed to have game? That's not how you have game. And isn't the alpha supposed to be a leader? Yet, screaming and shouting in and of itself does not make you a leader. There are many different things that require the man to become the epitome of masculinity, to reach his potential. And then you have Red Pill focusing on the superficial aspects of relationships. It doesn't help at all, does it? When you're just consuming content, it's like, yeah, relationships, yeah. Well, I got news for you. Men in their 50s, or later even, they forget about it. I mean, it's all just some BS of the past. They're not so proud of it. They're not so happy about it. It's not something like, yeah, you know what? I banged that many. It doesn't. What did you earn? It's not even a challenge. Take a Muslim guy who's practicing, and that man himself can raise up 60 women. I assure you that. As many women as he needs, actually. I'm not going to put a number. As many women as he needs. He can raise them all up. It's all simple and easy. It's not all rocket science that you have to talk about it through all these different contents, and you need multiple different voices. We all have 100 different voices speaking, if not more, speaking about this goddamn one-liner of a topic. Manhood isn't something that's just boiled down to relationships. There's more to it. There's leadership. There's the community value. There's a family value. Then there's also the friend value, the fatherhood, or even your duty upon your parents, your duty upon your country, let's say, your duty upon your area. That's better. How do you ignore all that and just focus on an individualistic thing, which is just self-pleasure? In the movie Fight Club, there's a very awesome little quote. Self-improvement is masturbation. And I won't deny that. Because the epitome of all actions that people end up taking is quite literally similar to masturbation. Because you just keep reading books non-stop. It's all about the same topic by different authors. You just continuously read it. And you think you're learning, but you're not, because it's pretty much the same information once you note down certain things. Of course, some things are genuinely good, but there are a lot of fluff books out there. There are a lot of stuff out there. Just because a YouTuber suggests it doesn't mean it's good. A lot of people suggest a lot of different things. You need to understand who you're taking as your leader. You are the average of the 5 people you spend time with. Well, there you go. Figure out the average here. Who are the 5 YouTubers you're listening to? Who are the 5 YouTubers you're learning from? What are you learning from them? What's going on? And are they biased on something? Because, of course, unfortunately, the Western society is all about the left or the right wing. They have no middle wing, of course. Hence, we have this dilemma that just constantly keeps on moving on, which could be solved so easily. It could have been solved ages ago. Using Islam as your knowledge. Yeah, of course, Islam is your standpoint. Okay, there you go, he's preaching. Of course, because that is the answer. I mean, I haven't found any other answers. It's not rocket science, like I've been saying for the last 15 minutes. It's not rocket science at all. It's quite simple. People could have solved a lot of their issues, but then you have desires. Now I'm going to go on to my next point, which, of course, Red Pill will say no to it, a strong no to it, because, duh. Teaching about strength and sensitivity, courage and compassion, leadership and teamwork. I was going to take the subcontinent again as my case study. A lot of those people actually have this overall issue. I think this is also something that can be mirrored with the US. That they have a lot of these issues of, well, I'm going to be the one at the top and I'm not going to let you go up before me or after me. I don't care. I'm going to put you down. Hence, we end up seeing them just climbing on top of each other and just putting one another down, not even saving their fellow brethren, because, again, of a lack of community. Whereas it's all about the individual. Where's the community? Every country, every language that you speak, every nation will say, we're all community. We all have communal values. Hell no, you don't. It's quite visible by the amount of suicide rates that's going on, by the amount of extreme sexual cases that's going on. Like, what the heck? Where's your community? Is that the communal values that you said you were teaching? Are those really those communal values that you said are working for people? I mean, I'm not here to trash anybody, really. That's not my intention at all. My intention is to find a viable solution, something that men can finally hold on to and say, yeah, I found a home. I found peace. I need to take some time. I finally found peace. How many men can actually say that? Even I can't say that, to be honest. I have a whole community here, and I have a lot of people that low-key look up to me. Alhamdulillah, I mean, I never asked anyone to do that. And then I have a lot of people I'm trying to help out. I have a lot of people here who are helping themselves out, even from the subcontinent. I've never seen this whole change in a culture. Because I personally thought that, okay, subcontinental people are all just, irrelevant type of people, because duh, they just keep complaining and stuff, so yeah, duh, they're gonna end up making my server more active, duh. DNG. Dork, Nerd, Geek. That was my biggest mistake of a thought, because I've met some goddamn good people from the subcontinent area. I'll be honest, my co-host, Arkan, is from a subcontinental country, and he's an awesome dude. I never thought I'd resonate with people, like, to such a higher level. And I really finally found home. And I did find a sense of peace. Of course, I was still lost in depression, and I was lost in nihilism, because I couldn't find the answers. I was looking for them all over the place, on YouTube, on Like wherever you can think of, podcasts, books. I was looking for answers. Somebody please give me the answer. No answers. None of those damn speakers could ever give you the answers. They won't give you the answers, clearly, because it's a business. To be honest, it's a very wide business, and to find those set answers, you're gonna have to join this coaching program, buy that course, yada yada yada. When really you could just self-study as well. Of course, this will be told to you by some other YouTubers who will say that, yeah, you can self-study about these things in books or whatever form of content. But like I said, where is the content? Some people actually genuinely show up the answers. They give up the answers. And I'm really grateful to them, to be honest, because I've been watching some channels and I finally got some answers. We read some books. I finally got my motivations back. But during the period I was stuck in nihilism, nothing could solve that issue. Nothing. As much as you would say that, oh, bro, I mean, your iman went down. I agree. I won't disagree at all. It did go down. It went heck down. It went bottom, straight, ground zero. But I had to climb the ladder again. But what did I use? To be honest, for me personally, okay, what worked for me won't work for you, probably. Or maybe it will. It was actually this community. I had a community of brothers, a brotherhood that I could go and dear and be like, yo, bro, stuff ain't going good. And they'd actually give me a virtual pat on the back and say, yo, I got you. Let's talk. And alhamdulillah, I'll be very honest, I've met some goddamn good brothers who sit on hours on end, who'll actually listen to you. And I've also solved, with another brother, of course, no credit to me, that we together solved an issue of another brother as well, who was going through some serious depression and some serious self-identity crisis, because he couldn't even make sense of things that's going around him. And really, depression and identity crisis, these things are kind of like my next door neighbors. Because I've always, with identity crisis, I've somewhat had it, but depression, it's a regular thing. I've had it a lot. Alhamdulillah, I don't have it anymore right now, because I found my meaning, I found my purpose. Oh, your meaning of life is worship Allah. Yes, it is. However, one thing everyone omits is, dude, that worship is also the way you eat. That worship is the way you talk to people. That worship is the communal values. That worship is earning money to provide for your family. That worship is also being kind and respectful to your parents. That worship is being with your homies, meeting other people, solving their issues, giving dawah, etc. There's more to it. It's not just about reading Quran, praying salah, reading the hadith, learning, the end. Duh. There's more to it, and many brothers are actually talking about it. And the reason why I say many is because I'm in those circles. Alhamdulillah, if I was not in those circles, I would end up coming here with a different news and say, life is bleak. It's best you just live your life however you want to. But alhamdulillah, bro, I've met some goddamn good people. I actually have fulfilled that part of communal values, the community. I've got the brotherhood, and it's still growing, alhamdulillah. And I look forward to it growing beyond just a Discord server. And it actually has, because I've met up with some of the brothers in real life, and it's been phenomenal. I've never expected to find people with the same interests, the same issue, almost similar issues, and issues that my knowledge can actually come in handy, because when you think about it, everything you learn in school, everything you learn in university, right? Can you use that to solve someone's problems? At best, those will be able to solve a handful of company-based problems that always keep changing, and you expect the school system to somehow feed those issues to you and keep you updated on it. Now that's a load of BS. I'm not saying drop out. Of course, I'm not saying that. For safety reasons, do not drop out. Finish up to like high school, get into university, do all that, yada yada yada. I'll give you a better explanation on this, inshallah, on a different episode. But crux of the matter, don't drop out. But really, if you think that your life revolves around getting good grades, around pleasing people, pleasing your family with good grades, you think they're gonna care after a while? Don't you think they're gonna forget about it when the next problem shows up? I'm not saying go in completely depressed, etc. Just going in without a meeting that, I gotta do this just because my mom said to. I'm a mama's boy. No, it's not because of that. I'm doing this because I want to fulfill a part of my duty, which is, of course, to like get the grades, etc. But I won't obsess over them. The key issue with everybody in this goddamn planet is that they all obsess over things. It's a thing about me as well. I will not deny that I have obsessed over something. I mean, I've obsessed in the age of 13. I've been obsessing over manga because I wanted to be a manga artist. And then I finally reached my dream of uploading something that's like a 5-page manga. Not too much, but yet. But I got the similar feeling of uploading a manga. Like, I got the manga. Now what? And then my dreams got shattered because, it's not sustainable in terms of income. You can do it as a passion project when you're a billionaire or something, but it's not really sustainable. You can't continue it. And I've reached my dream, what I wanted to do, at least a part of, not 100% of it, but the feeling is kind of off. There's something off about this. I thought follow your passion was going to save me from something. It's going to help me in some way, but why does it look so empty? Why does it look like slavery? Is because whatever is your passion, unless it's something that you can adapt to, like if you do not have the skill of adapting to something else, your passion will enslave you, and it's not gonna be for the good. People think that I need motivation. I need motivation to do something. I think I need motivation to do something. I'm not motivated. I'm not feeling it inside. It's true. Some people just don't feel some things. I mean, for example, I don't feel like sitting around studying for 5 hours straight. That's not me. What I do have like resonate with. It's not about feelings. It's more about resonance. Like I resonate with studying for an hour or two, working for 3 to 5 hours, sure, because it's work, and I'm actually moving forwards towards something that I want to do. Or maybe it's learning a skill, or maybe it's learning something about business. Like there are things that my mind is now more into. And here's the kicker. A lot of people who you'll find in the Muslim community, unfortunately a lot of brothers, I don't know about the sisters because I've never been to the sister section, I'm a guy, I'm not gonna go there, bro. A lot of the brothers will end up saying like, marriage, 4 wives, inshallah. Like, bro, chill down, bro. Chill down for a minute, alright? Come on, bro. Simple advice, humble advice to you, bro. How do you know you can handle that? Like, is it because you can jack off multiple times? Be honest. Is it really because you can jack off multiple times that porn? Did you just base it on that, bro? Come on, man. Of course, I'm not saying that that's the basis that many people say it from, but I'm just saying a lot of bros are just low-key horny because it's understandable. It's not like I have a grudge against these brothers saying, you guys are losers. Nah, bro. Nah, B. There's a bigger issue, and I understand that. And the bigger issue here is that, first off, from the skills perspective, it's adaptability. People need to just learn how to adapt. Many people are stuck in a loophole, and they just don't learn how to adapt. And I mean, why isn't things happening my way? Why can't I do something that I want to do? Yada yada. Duh, because you can't adapt. And not only just adapt, I mean, like, the issue with, like, the modern issue with marriage and, like, why I love trashing this subject, really, is because there's no point in complaining, right? Society is the way it is. You can either change it or shut the hell up. Two choices. Simple. You either change the society or you just shut the hell up and do your do bidding. Finish the job. Finish whatever you need to do. Go around it. Let's say you play a game, right? And the game is basically, it's not a linear game. It's kind of like League of Legends. So you can place your, okay, you know what? There's a better example. Clash of Clans, all right? You can put your troops in one area. Okay, cool. And then you can get your troops from the other end. Go around it. Don't go linear. You go around it. You kind of go strategically thinking, okay, wait, okay, hold on. I'm getting blocked from this end, yeah. So I'm going to attack from that end, yeah. And then I can get that, yeah. Let's go, yeah. You get the vibe from it. You get the winning moment from it. And boom, victory. So instead of just thinking in a linear manner, why are you busy thinking? Like, why are you busy thinking in a linear manner? Just to start thinking, like, go around the rules, go around something. Like, find another way. Busy yourself. Never leave yourself to just chill around. Never leave yourself to just dilly-dally and not fulfill your purpose. Your purpose in life is not something small. I don't care who disagrees with me on this one, to be honest. All right? This is just my own thing. Your purpose in life isn't really small. It's not something that you can be complacent with. It's not something that you can just go around being chill and being kind and gentle alone. Sometimes you just have to be ruthless. Sometimes you just have to be dark. Insane. You might have to go through that. I know a lot of brothers who actually went through those moments. I myself went through darker moments, dark and insane moments. Of course, duh. And I expect myself to go through more in the future because that's just how we grow. That's normal. You don't get depressed thinking that, man, that didn't work out on me. Bro, Allah will provide from where you don't expect. Alright, just keep that in mind. Allah will provide from places where you don't expect. The reason I say that is, that's actually such a hopeful little line right there. That whenever you think about it, it's like, yo, it didn't work like this? It's fine. Let's adapt. Move. Fast. Move. Adapt. Again, adapt. And tying this all back to loneliness is because a lot of bros are actually stuck ruminating on negative things, negative emotions, negative experiences in their past. Oh my god, my limiting beliefs are getting the better of me again. Yeah, my family says I'm a loser, so I must be a loser. What the frick you mean by that, bro? What the frick you mean by that? You know, like, I failed in this test. Like, you failed in a test, and? Well, like, you know, I failed in this test, and, but the teachers call my parents, and it's like, they kind of scolded me, and said, it's like, and? Well, yeah. That's not a good enough argument for you to tell me that you're a loser. What the frick you mean by that, bro? The heck you mean by that? That ain't the best. That's a stupid argument to even tell me that, yeah, bro, I'm a loser. I have my limiting beliefs, you know? Like, bro, come on. Just because you didn't pass a test? Seriously? Are you gonna let yourself down like this? Are you gonna let the world dictate your emotions? And are you really gonna go with the emotions? Or are you gonna be rational? Are you gonna use your rationality? Use the brain. Think about it. Okay, bro, I failed. It's fine. I failed the test, bro. I even lose in games. It's all fine. Let's take games as an example because a lot of bros are gamers too. Okay, cool. I mean, I myself I'm not a gamer, but I have played a few games. So yeah, you could think in this way that I lose in games too, but whatever. I'm gonna try again. Why do you have the mentality of try again in a game and not in life? The frick you mean by I'm a loser? The heck you mean by that, bro? Just because you failed in a certain area, you failed in something, and your homies, everyone else, they're like all around you saying, yeah, loser. Words do have an impact, that's true, but when you don't have people around you, you have to learn to be independent. Stop being dependent on people's words to give you encouragement and motivation. Stop waiting around for like, hey bro, my nofap streak. I got like a week. Like, yeah, cool. Yeah. You don't got anything more to say? Like, nah, B. Why not? Because that's how people are supposed to live. That's exactly how people are supposed to live. We're supposed to live in nofap, bro. And whenever we have that desire kick in, I mean, we got our wives. But of course, that doesn't work for us. Like, at least a lot of us in the community, we're all young. I'm 20, and a lot of our members are pretty much 16 to 18. Or I mean, yeah, pretty much in that area, from 15 to 18. It doesn't work for that, like for us like that. Well, we're all alone. All right? Wrong. That's the biggest mistake that you could ever think, that, yo, I'm alone. I need the companionship. I need it. Bro, come on. Stop joking. Stop kidding yourself, bro. Come on. Stop making a joke out of yourself. Once you realize the potential of a human being, just a one human being, alright? Just one human being. Okay, let's take the best example. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One human being. Just one. Not 2, 3 clones, yada yada. Just one human being. The changes he did, the changes he made, thanks to Allah, of course, and like revelation, etc. The changes this one man made. Don't you think it's kind of stupid that you come and say, I'm a loser because of this and that, and yeah, people say this and that about me. Okay, who the hell cares about what people say about you, bro? I've been called a loser my entire life, to be honest. And then I made the people who call me a loser eat their goddamn words, because, duh, I'm not a loser. And I know it. Why do I know it? Bruh, I'm a human being. One human being. I'm capable of a lot more than you can think of. One human being, one man, is enough to literally make or break a society. All you need is one man. I mean, just read history. Stuff happened just because one man stood up. One man kind of like came up and then made a group. Boom, boom, boom. What happened? Did the society start or break? Either way, whatever that one man thought he should do. Should he break it or should he make it? I'll repeat that. Should he break it or should he make it? Spin bars. Well, if one man is capable of so much, of course, I'm not trashing women on this, that, okay, so he's talking about men, but he's gonna not talk about women, right? What the heck you mean by this? The current waves of society, the way it works, is quite literally in the expense of men. Like, all the stuff that's going on, it's like, you just forget about men. You forget about manhood, you forget about masculinity, and then when the war strikes, somehow you all go back to cooking and cleaning. Hey, yo, what's happening? That's sus. That's mad sus. What's happening? How do you go from, yeah, independent women, let's go, to cooking and cleaning? I'm sorry, you got your dishes? Thank you very much, I'm gonna do that for you. Please go to the war. What the heck you mean by that? I thought you guys were equal. I thought equality was a thing. Stop BSing people, bro. Like, this is not a competition between men and women. Who's the best? What the heck you mean by that? No, there's no need for this unnecessary competition. It's just human. We are different, yada yada, duh. We're different. And then you have the unfortunate crap of LGBT popping up. I made a whole video, 2-hour video on it, on my second channel, Sizzy Real Extended. You're welcome to check it out. But really, it's not like, oh, you're homophobic. Shut up. Zip it. Nada. Zip it. You're homophobic. You're so. Zip it. It's stupid. All these arguments of, hey, you're homophobic. Hey, you get the genders right. You sensitive prick. Shut up. It's not even working. Nothing is helping people. These aren't helping people. And since when did America really care about mental health? I'm kind of curious on this one, bro. Because last I checked, these things weren't serious. And then suddenly they were taken seriously. Yeah, mad sus. So, but really, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, alright? Chill. So I'm just gonna ignore all that. But really, how has porn solved your issue? How has individualism solves your issue? How has, well, anything of liberal secular values solve your issues? Now, I don't know if this video might get a lot of hate. This video might get a lot of stuff going on in it. I don't care about it. I really don't. The sole reason is because you guys didn't care about when people were suffering, that when men were suffering. Men and women both suffer, true, but when men are suffering more these days. Why? Has the sexual revolution really helped people? Nope, not really. Of course, this is a topic for another day, or heck, it's even a debate, because, men can't tell women what to wear. And then yet you have researchers saying that dopamine release when men look at semi-naked women or even naked women, it's like a whole other level. And then you somehow forget about the research. And of course, I expect that from a society that rejects natural genders. It's expected. I expect that from at least. Bruh. However, I'm gonna get back to the official points now. Kinda went on a rant, but really, I'm still gonna repeat this again. The sole reason I call this a dark event, a dark episode, is because there are voiceless people out there, and you'll never hear them speak. By the way, I should have read this point out before. It's like, you won't find people sharing their opinions on this. Like, are they stuck there feeling sad, etc.? Well, here you go. Point 2. Men don't want to admit to any feelings of male loneliness. It was backed up by a 2017 study by the Jaws Cox Commission on Loneliness. It surveyed 1,200 men, and 10% said they would not admit to feeling lonely, preferably to keep it hidden. Why is this a stigma? You want to keep this hidden? The thing that's actually breaking people? Imagine this. Imagine a scenario, alright? Imagine a scenario of you married to a wife and having 2.5 kids, and just you worked your butt off in your office, you broke your back because you had to work, and then you got home, your wife's kind of angry at stuff, your kids are screaming, and kids be kids. I mean, I got nothing on this, because probably cute people, cute creatures, good people, I mean, seriously. But then your wife's screaming, it sounds like you already went through a heck ton of stress, and then you're welcoming more stress. And really, the MGTOW movement just seems more logical now, which is, by the way, men go their own way. That's the most nihilistic thing I've ever heard. Men go their own way, or going their own way. The heck you mean? Everyone's that individualistic that we just can't focus on a community. We can't help build something anymore. And we can't even find the brotherhood. That's the biggest issue. The other issue that I do have, this is something, now speaking of the Muslim areas, the main issues that I do have is, well, I find it so cringe that I'm the only one who has to, well, people are talking about it, but what I was complaining about is that I find it so cringe that I'm the only one here tonight talking about this. Like, talking about this specific thing that I'm going to talk about right now, which is, get your kids married early, bruh. Get them married early. I mean, what's the point of letting them wait around? To all the guardians of said children, and children, like men and women, not children, but men and women who are adults, consenting adults, like, just get them married if they need to. I mean, if it's just that serious. You won't find people out there who, okay, I don't know if it's egotistical of me saying it, but of course I mean no ego, nor do I mean anything when I say it. You won't find people out there who are like me, who can literally ignore these desires, or rather can channel these desires and do something with it. It's a very small percentage, I assure you that, because I can barely find anyone who connects with me. Everyone I try to say this to, they all jump the wagon on me. They try to kick me out. It's literally it. Because no one understands that you have to control yourself. But really, some people actually do have some problems that they would love to solve it like this, just get it done. What's the point of waiting around and suffering, especially all the dads of said girls, of said women? It's like, bruh, you know the struggle, goddammit, you know the struggle. What you're doing, like sitting around there and like is making it impossible for all these guys to approach. Of course, I get it. Like, if I had a daughter, hypothetically, I would be very curious as to understanding what the guys are, who they are, what's going on. They earn and can they keep a daughter safe? I get it. I got you, bro. And it's so funny that I say got you, bro, to an uncle. But yeah, I got you, sir. That's main issues and like you're scared of that, yada yada. But like, that's why vetting exists. Could you vet the guys as well? I mean, they have to go through you first. The heck you mean you don't vet? The heck you mean by your daughter got this and that? It's like take advantage of. Like, bruh. This is so stupid. Why don't you do your damn job right? This is coming from a 20-year-old, bro. Why don't you do your damn job right? Vet him correctly. It's fine. Vet him. Reject him. It's fine, but vet him. Find the guy. It's fine. You're supposed to do that anyways. You're supposed to find the guy, and the guy talks to you first. He doesn't go talk to the girl first. Or heck, I mean, the modern way, the way the culture is, of course he goes to talk to her first. Whatever, whatever. However you guys talk, but you do end up meeting the guy, and it's not after they went to a relationship, they went dating, yada yada. And really, this is something I'll add as a notice. All right. Currently, me and Archon, with our researcher and other team members, we're working on something. We will start working on something, which, as much as I would love to say it's accessible to everybody, kids who are 13 to 16, just please, I really made dua to Allah on this, that I hope you guys don't get disheartened, and I hope you guys just don't get depressed after knowing the murky reality that goes on in these places. Given that this is a dark event, I would also like to say that the murky things of relationship, the murky things of marriage is why I talk about it so much, like why I trash about it so much and yada yada. If you watch Mahdi Tejani, that's all you need to know. That's all my reason right there. To all the uncles and aunties who are going to listen to this podcast, maybe their sons and daughters are showing it to them, or maybe they just stumbled upon it. Don't cry to the imam when your son and daughter comes in and says they did zina, because goddamn did you just provide that. I mean, some people genuinely don't want to do it, alright? Some people genuinely are not like players, they really are clean people, clean-slated people. And then you end up just rejecting everything and everyone because, no, you need to get the degree first. You need to do this first, yada yada. The heck you mean, bro? The heck you mean by that? Don't cry to the imam when they do zina. I mean, don't cry. Don't. You don't got no excuses. Take the blame. Take the freaking goddamn blame. And this is why I actually hate talking about relationships, to be honest, because it's just it's a disgusting area, the way things are. And to assume that Muslim communities have these things, duh, they do. Wait, am I going to add a sound effect on this? I think I'm going to add sound effects on this. You got a goddamn whore in the Muslim community. You got whores in this place. You got whores in the house. You got even freaking playboys. You got bullcrap going on all over the places. What the heck is this? Is like, wow. Way to go. God damn, bruh. This topic started from loneliness, and it finally came to this. Duh. What do you expect? It's all related. It's all interconnected in one way or the other. Loneliness can make a man do something that you just would not imagine him doing. I can assure you this, that I've had people who wanted to commit suicide, and just because they were alone. Just because they just didn't find the effective answers to their problems. Just because society ignore them. By ignore, I mean, there's no one to blame. All right? First off, there's nobody to blame over here. Instead, everyone should just take their own responsibilities. Men blame women, women blame men, and then there's the kids blame their parents, parents blame their kids, and blah, blah, blah. Bro, the blame game has to stop. Everyone should just take up their responsibilities and just fulfill it. Shut the frick up and just do it. Shut the frick up and just do it. There's no excuses. Fulfill each of your responsibilities. You'll find your answers eventually. You'll actually find your answers immediately, if not. Because I can really assure you that the people I've talked to and the way and the people I've researched and studied their cases, and it's not just something so easy. It's not something you can just brush away thinking that, yeah, someone's going to solve it anyways, or it's going to solve anyways. It's going to solve with time. Not everything solves with time if you just keep it like that. You have to work on it, goddammit. It's insane how people will completely forget about these things. It's insane how people will just move over thinking that they have all the answers they need in their life. No, you don't. No, you don't, you freaking idiot. We are students of life. We're students of life. We constantly learn. We constantly adapt. We constantly solve problems. That's the way we go. That's how we men build ourselves. There's a quote saying, life of a man starts after 30. Why do you think it's after 30? By the way, that's a Western saying, of course. That's not a Muslim saying. So, why does it start after 30? Because until then, from 20 to 30 years old, that 10 years, that man has to be ruthlessly working hard, constantly hustling, just have to be stoic and a lot more. He has to gain a lot more knowledge and build his businesses, build his income streams, etc. And then he has to go out there, be in relationships, etc. And by the way, this is a rule of life. Never forget it. Men, shut the freak up when you say that you're gonna earn your million by whatever age. Shut up. You'll earn it by when you're 30 or something, or before that. That's okay. You can do it. But if you start when you're 20, if you start when you're 15 even, let's say, yeah, it's natural that if you start at 15, it's natural that you'll find your million by 25 or something, because you've been in that area, you've been researching, you've been studying, you've been working, you've been hustling. It's natural. But then there's us, me who's 20, for example. I get into this whole hustle sphere. I expect myself to get out of it by 30 with $1 billion or something. It's a logical conclusion, good enough. Or maybe 25 even. It's fine. But the sole reason I say it is because these parents who say, by the way, I did see Imperial Gin. I did see this little thing that you just said here. Time to get married. Not really. Don't. Like I've been saying already, it's not a black and white situation that you can just get married and solve your issues. I think I'm the only one in this goddamn place who's saying it, that you shouldn't just get blindly married. It isn't the solution to your issues. It's a coping mechanism if you're doing it. Do it with a plan. Have a plan. Why are you getting married? What you gonna do when you're getting married? Any plans? You want kids? How many? What's your filters for vetting a woman? What you doing with the woman? I mean, by what you doing, I mean, what you doing when you vet it? What you learning of these issues? Do you know what the societal issues are? Do you know what your responsibility as a man is? Do you know what you have to do, don't have to do? Do you know what laws you gotta follow? Do you know the laws of your country? Do you know how do you even know how to solve your problems? A lot of these goddamn complacent men that we have today are just soy boys. I put myself in that category. You know what? I put myself in that category. Because for example, this episode right now, it might look like I'm complaining, but really I'm just stating everything that I know. It's from all the knowledge that I got. It's not really something random. It's from experience. And it's also from studying people. The amount of depressed DMs that I've got, it just pisses me off after a while. is that, of course, I'm not saying that you should stop DMing me, but what I mean is, how come no one else has talked about this? How come no one else has taken the initiative to, okay, you know what? Everyone can flap their goddamn lips and talk. Everyone can talk. Even I'm talking. Talk, talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk. Everyone can talk. But how many can actually solve the problem? I'm currently working with a case, and I will really beat myself up on this one if I don't end up solving his problem. Because that would be the biggest failure of my entire life. My failures weren't the moments I did bad in tests or stuff like that. Those were my biggest failures. My biggest failure would be that this is something I try to do. I try to help people as much as I can. I mean, I kind of sound like a saint right now. But no, that's not my intentions. The sole reason I'm trying to help is because I need a community. I need people. I need people here. I need people who are like productive, who are masculine, who are disciplined, who are stoic, who are busy doing the things that they need to be doing. They're not busy complaining, saying, "God damn, bro, I wish I get married." Or, no, why don't I have money? Yeah. The heck, bro? The heck's going on? What's with these absolute stupidities going on? And there have been some like recent stuff that I've been seeing is that a lot of people are just talking about change, etc. Alhamdulillah, that's good. I look forward to people changing. I look forward to people learning and growing. And that's also one of our rules in the in the server, that you don't get to do individualism over here. You have to take into consideration your homie, your bro. You meet people over here. You don't just get in the server and be like, okay, yet another Discord server. You meet your homies here. I met my homies. I met Archon. He's my homie. I can say it with an absolute certainty. He's my homie. Alhamdulillah, he's my homie. How many of you can say that? Anyone your homies? Exactly. The issue is a lot of people rarely have good friendships. And really, to be honest, a lot of my friendships in the past, they were kind of okay-ish, I guess. It never meaningful, never really made me grow, never really pushed me beyond my limits. It didn't really do anything for me. I don't blame them either, because we were kids, we were learning, yada yada. It's normal. But when you think about a community, when you think about brotherhood, you expect people with at least some knowledge, at least some advice that they can give you. At least they can come at the darkest moments of your life. You can hit them up and be like, "Bro, I got something," and they can they can vice versa do the same, hit you up in the darkest moments of their life. I'm glad that I ended up actually. Now, I'm not going to say how many people I've helped, but like, alhamdulillah, I'm glad that I ended up helping a few people, because my life actually did get better. Not just because I was helping people, but because my intention always has been that I'm helping people. Like, I think it's a hadith, that if you alleviate stress from your fellow Muslim brother, Allah will alleviate stress from you. Or hardship. I think that's something along those lines. But that's also my main intention why I made the server. Because I was actually down bad. I saw that this whole Muslim Discord area is just like the Muslim Twitter area, which is full of bullcrap. I couldn't find my place here. I couldn't find people who are actually working towards something. Everyone's here is chilling and billing. Aren't we supposed to be more than we are now? And this is also something to all the other men out there who are Muslim or non-Muslim. I mean, this episode is, well, you're welcome. Whether you're Muslim or non, you're welcome to listen to it, alright? But really, aren't we men supposed to be something greater? Aren't the women supposed to be something greater? Aren't we all as humans supposed to be greater? Where's the humanity? The hell are we busy doing now? Everyone's lonely because they're all busy in that individualistic state. They just cannot find the community. They cannot find their purpose anymore. And then there's also the point that I mentioned, that there's the father issues. that the single parenting and stuff, I don't know, like, alhamdulillah, a lot of our members here, I haven't seen any cases like that here. So I'll mention it some other time, and I'm not really well versed, so I don't think I should be talking about it at all, given I have never met anyone who comes from a single parent household. So I'll leave it to somebody who's way more knowledgeable than me, someone who can actually tackle that subject. Oh, you know what? Mahdi Tijani does it better. Just watch him, listen to him, all right? He does a better job at this. And he also does a better job at the entire female dynamics, yada yada. So yeah, just listen to him. Now I would assume this is my final point, that men need role models. We barely have any. People will say that look at the hadith, look at the seerah, which is true, which is good. I have no issues with that. I really love it, to be honest. Bro, yo. Okay, you know what? Sit and listen. Like, try and what's the word I'm looking for? Try and relate, alright? When you hear of Khalid bin Walid raising his sword, or traveling, or like going to war, etc., right? When you listen to those speeches, the things he says, when you listen to Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu also, or Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu, when you listen to the stories about them, or even the story of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you listen to their stories, you just get that feeling, like you get that mutual understanding. Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. I mean, you've been like 14 centuries prior, but like I feel you for some reason, man. I feel you. Like there's this connectivity in there for some reason. Why? We relate to history. Duh. A lot of history, even, like, let's say other history. I mean, I haven't really read much into anything, and I haven't even read the Sirah. Okay, you know what? I'm kind of a criminal in this area. I need to read the Sirah sooner or later, but I haven't done that yet. So after I'm done with that, I'll put up some updates or something. But really, the little I know, the little I read, was enough to move me to feel like, yo, where are these homies at in this modern era? Where are the people in the modern era? I'm not talking about 1400 years ago. I'm not talking about recent in the 1900s or something. I'm talking modern era. Where are the leaders? Where are the men? Where are the goddamn powerhouses? Like, where y'all at? A lot of men are busy doing businesses, and so I mean, it's all understandable. Okay, you know what? It's all understandable. But really, where are the men, the masculine men out here, leaders, that'll lead their families, they'll lead their communities, they'll lead their brotherhood? The funny thing is, like, I put my role in the server as the leader, which is basically which is owner, and I literally made it up because I couldn't find anything that would sound good enough. And no, this is not a cult. Obviously not. Everything here is public. And the sole reason I'd say is that taking this leadership seriously has helped me a lot in terms of mental growth, in terms of emotional maturity, in terms of responsibilities. Because, like, we believe in fast action response, which is basically that if you have a complaint about something that's not working, etc., we'll try and work on it as fast as possible. And to be very honest, though, like, where are the leaders? Where are they at? Are they I mean, they don't need to hold up meetups or anything, but where are they? Where are the people that be like, yo, bro, I got you, man. You got some issues? I got you, bro. Where's that? Where's the feeling? And to be honest, like I said in my previous, like, a long way back example, that I was with my homie, we played basketball together, and now we're kind of busy with universities and stuff like that, right? But we used to chill around, play basketball, and then I had this insane amount of shock in me whenever I thought, like, yo, whenever I used to think about his good qualities, I would have a shock. And thanks to the Western media, and media in general, this shock is called being gay. But in reality, it's just an insane amount of respect, because I was learning so much from this guy.
Like, he would adapt so quick on the fly. I've been playing basketball for at least when we were playing, I was playing for 2 years or something. And he just started. He literally beat me to it. He beat me to the games. I sucked. But he adapted so quick, and that just put a whole new respect for me. And we even connected on the other topics, hey yo, there's some whole crap of feminism, etc. going on and yada yada. We connected. We were homies, and we're still homies. We still meet up sometimes, occasionally, whenever we're free. But man, this mutual respect, where is it? Where are the community leaders at? Where's the community? What's happening? Why is no one here? Why are we letting our bros stay stuck in loneliness? And that they don't have a place to call home, to call peace. That's all I'm going to leave you guys today with, to be honest. And I hope I answered some questions. And I know that I didn't do this topic justice because before I even started the recording, I was actually very nervous, thinking that, man, there's so much I can talk about. There's so many things I need to talk about. What should I talk about? How do I tackle the subject? And alhamdulillah, Allahu barik to my researcher. He ended up producing a whole 3-page after reading. I'm gonna link to the articles down there. So he ended up reading a heck ton of articles and then just literally sent me a 3-page full script the next day. I was amazed. I was shocked. Although I kind of did him injustice when I say that he did a 3-page script and I didn't even read so much of it. I'm just going to read a few points and I'm assuming, and these will all connect to the things that I've been saying. Even though masculinity is a natural thing for every man, because of the feminization of the male, many men have started to consider the traits of masculinity as toxic and stereotypical. They want to think they can be whatever they wish by rejecting their true self, but detesting their masculine instincts harm their mental state. Men may experience conflict because they feel pressure with society, family, and themselves to assume behaviors, thoughts, and feelings that may not be congruent with who they want to be or think are. And the double bind is that even if they successfully subscribe to the cultural ideal of certain masculine traits, it may have an adverse impact on their psychological well-being. Man. Okay, I actually did justice on this one now. But man, just thinking about all this, it low-key used to make me hopeless when I used to think about all this back in 2020 or 2021. But now, alhamdulillah, I'm seeing a day of light because a lot of people are finally starting to grow. They're finally starting to improve and find communities, build communities, continue the traditional values. Because what the hell were you busy doing when you say that your traditional values don't work? Of course it works. It worked. Hence, it was continued. Why the hell would you have to come in and say, yeah, we need to change it? I mean, the hell has changing it done made? I mean, have you done anything good? Has it really saved people? Has it saved people from those lonely moments, those moments of loneliness and the want to kill themselves? Has it really saved them? I see not. So yeah, that's about it. And I hope all of you end up rewinding the video and watching it as many times as you need to. And do let me know if I left some things out. Seriously, I'm open to criticisms. You're welcome to add your own takes. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, well, as many times I try to end it, well, yeah, this is just the actual final point. Then I'm kind of mad at this, huh? Well, the final point is always make your goals with respect to the bigger picture. Never make your goals with respect to the now. Rather, make your goals with respect to whatever bigger picture you want to go to. Let's say You want to go to a relationship. Well, you want to get married? Okay, cool. How is it going to help you? Can you do something right then? Do you have the money to provide? Can you help out the family, etc.? Can you do something about it? Nope. Well, will it help you in your future goals? Not really, because I don't have the money, and I gotta focus on getting the money, like to provide for the family, and my wife at home, my habibti, is busy screaming at me because I ain't got the money. It's like, so did it actually help you in your journey? No, I got you. So that's pretty much an example. Take the bigger picture into account while you're actually going into something and whatever mission you're trying to fulfill. And also never forget that you will continuously have missions. Your missions will never end. A man's literal existence is to have a heck ton of missions. Even if you're done with something, you'll still find more things to solve, and that's just fun. The game of life is pretty interesting because there's so much more to find out. There's so much more to search. There's so much more to explore, and there's so much more to contend with. It's all legit. It's all awesome. Man, thinking about all this, it literally makes me want to jump out of my seat because this is what actually kind of gets me out of my bed. It's like, I got missions. I got a heck ton of missions. Let's go. And this enthusiasm is just something I can't explain at the moment. I don't have it all figured out, all right? I'm still figuring life out as much as I possibly can. And I'm still learning. I won't use the excuse that I'm still 20, because, bro, 20 is a heck ton. I'm old enough. I should know some stuff. But I'm still studying and I'm still learning, and I look forward to our upcoming events or upcoming episodes, and specifically me and Archon, bro. I'll be honest. Check Archon's channel out, bro. This guy's something else. Allahumma barik, Archon, bro. I love you for the sake of Allah, bro, for real. That's about it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm glad you were all here. I'm glad you could even stay this far. I mean, a lot of people don't have an attention span nowadays. So thank you a ton. Inshallah, I hope you benefited from this. So, see ya. Assalamu alaikum.